Hello everyone and welcome to another Halloween Season review. Today I'm reviewing Time Breaker, designed by Andrew Looney and published by Looney Labs Games. This is a game that uses a lot of similarities to his previous games of Flux, but has some other elements that are different and have actually made this a game that I prefer over the Flux games itself. So let's go ahead and show you what comes in the box. The box, you'll open it up. It's similar size to the Flux game boxes. It's a little bit deeper, a little bit thicker, but it has a simple little insert that works really well. Actually, it has a spot for the cards that go here, and the square tiles fit nicely here, and the different pawns, the pieces fit in there. So very good size box. It uses the space well, and simple but nice packaging on this. The quality of the components are very nice actually as well. The pawns I like a lot actually. They're a translucent plastic, but it's just kind of a little torso, some little arm indication of arms there. And but the translucent meeples or pawns here I think are pretty nice. The game itself, the objective, we all work for the Time Repair Agency, and we have a culprit out there who is changing time, and we all know that's a crime, right? So we are all set out to capture the culprit. We don't know much about the culprit. That's why they're represented by this little cube here. And they start here in the top left-hand corner, and whoever's playing the game will place their pieces here. And we all want to make sure that we capture this individual, right? But there's going to be a big bonus and perhaps even a promotion to the person who brings in the time breaker. So this is a competitive game. The goal is to basically get to the same tile as the time breaker and then move back through time and find ourselves back at the Time Repair Agency to say, hey, look, I caught him. That brought him in. Give me money, give me a raise. And yay, the person isn't going to ruin time for everybody. Okay, so that's the object of the game, the setup. You're going to shuffle these tiles up randomly in a 5x5 grid. And then you're going to shuffle up the cards and deal out 3 to each player. And you're ready to start the game. And you're going to, obviously, the game is about getting to this certain location and getting back. So similar to the Flux games, there's a lot of different action cards that can impact movement, and you can even stop someone's cards from having an impact or playing certain cards with the time stop cards. And so there's a flux of how do we move about the board, because it's not just as simple. There are some cards that allow you to move, just up and down, left and right with these little move cards. But you can also place, you're going to have a bunch of these jump cards, one for each of the locations. So if I were to play this card here, I would be able to jump to the year 3069, the colonization of Alpha Centauri. Okay, so I can move directly to there. With the jump card, so you can jump to any particular location. They also become pretty powerful. If you were to move to that location and then play this jump card, since I'm already there, allows me to move to any location on the board. Okay, and getting to the time breaker is just half the battle, right? Now we have to get the time breaker back, and people can play cards on you like this that remove the tile where the time breaker is located, escapes your grasp, and you can end up closing gates as well. Okay, so you may get that gate closed. You are with the time breaker, but look at how quickly the game can change, right? So any gates that are closed are removed. These are all double-sided and placed to the side of the board. Any cards that would go to this location will now actually go to headquarters. So it's a way of it it makes it difficult or more difficult to move to certain locations, and yet it helps because the game board is shrinking. And I like this element because I think it helps the game not go quite as long. Like the flex games, this has a big variation where it can be, 5-10 minute game, or it could turn into a half an hour, 45 minutes. But I do like that mechanic. I think it does kind of help with the length of the game, keeping it shorter. But yeah, that's basically the game. There's different ones where you can send people to headquarters, move people around. The desperate grab, I can discard that and my entire hand to move to where the time breaker is. Of course, now I don't have any cards that help me get back or move, for future movement. But the game, it does have some interesting kind of decisions. So, when you draw a card, after you draw a card, you can either play a card to move around or, impact the time break or other characters. Or I could follow just the normal continuation of time here, the green arrow. So from this one, I can move to, now this is the end, so the time wraps around. So this is the most futuristic tile in the game. And so most futuristic back around to 13 billion, 800 million BCE. So I would be able to jump to that. In this case, the gate's closed, so I'd actually be able to make it home with that move. But if I were here, I would follow this to 1653, which would put me up here. So you can always follow the normal or the green arrows. You can also use a wormhole. So basically, I don't like the cards. I don't really want to follow that. I'm just going to draw a card and see what happens. Okay, well, I'm going to jump to 1991 when the World Wide Web came about. Okay, 1991, we find that on the board. Not the greatest, but, maybe moved me away from other people, whatever it may be. So, again, there's a lot of luck involved with the game, and there is a lot of changing elements. You can be really close to winning, and then someone plays a timebreaker card. You're like, oh no! Or someone plays a timebreaker card, and they're thinking, oh, they got you, and then you're like, nope, stop time. And then you think you got that, but then someone else plays a stop time on your stop time, and it's like, oh no, he escaped, did everything I could, but he still got away. So there's a lot of different elements like that. The board game, changes throughout the board with the gates closing, and you have the variable, setup. So the game is, a little bit different each time as you set that up. And so, yeah, I actually really have enjoyed Timebreaker. I enjoy it more than the Flux games myself. I like that this has the elements of, that take that element. It also has that where, you're about to win, and then all of a sudden it looks like there's no possible way you're going to win. And so it kind of keeps it people guessing what's going to happen, and it gets people in the game. I will say it can be a little frustrating for kids. I have young kids, and they have a plan. They're going to go do this, and then someone plays a card like that, and it totally just makes it so that they were really close, and now they're basically in tears because their plan didn't work, and they were going to win, but now it looks like they're going to lose. And so, there is kind of that element. Just be aware of that. But if you like the Flux games and this looks like something that you would enjoy, go ahead and check it out. Because I think Timebreaker here is maybe my favorite Looney Labs game right now. I really like Timebreaker. I really like Just Desserts. The Flux games are fun. I do enjoy them, but I find that I like Timebreaker much better. And that is how Lou sees it.